sweet harmony. Someday we'll all be free.
All right, hi guys, can you hear me? Yay! Spencer, I have a new microphone, so let me know how it sounds. Hopefully it's better. And is it too loud? Or am I good? In fact, Alex. There you go, Alex. All right, so moderators, listen, it's very important. If someone is being inappropriate in the chat, you don't have to ask my permission. You can mute them right away. And then what will happen is if it's a mistake, if they shouldn't have been muted, or if you messed up, or if it was a misunderstanding, mute them right away. And then I can always go back and unmute them. It's not a big deal. So better safe than sorry. Yeah, so I'm going to put slow chat mode on just so I can read it, but I'm going to make it like 10 seconds. This way it works a little bit better. Just so it slows the chat down a little bit and I can read so I can actually give some feedback. There we go. Set to 10 seconds. Set up my system here. How's everyone doing today? How's my music? Is all the volume good before we get started? Yeah? Okay. So today, hi everyone. Are there any questions before we get started? So just so everyone knows, my wife right now is having her live stream with all the staff upstairs. My live stream with my department isn't until, I don't know, I think Thursday. So definitely if you have any questions for any of your teachers, ask me and I'll bring it up during the live stream on Thursday with the teachers. And that's something that we can do. Kyle, are you watching a lot of Survivor while you're locked in your house? Because that's what I figured you're probably doing. Ask what's happening with Spicer. Mr. Spicer's using Castle Learning. I did ask, but I will bring it up again and make sure that he tries to reach out with you guys. Plus, Spencer knows a lot about Spicer, so ask him and he'll let you know about the classes and things like that. Okay, so let's get started today. Can you hear my background music, by the way? Let me see. Hold on. I'll tell you, this teaching from home stuff is weird. Yeah, it works. Good. It's echoing. All right, so today we're going to talk about the 20 most important battles of World War II. Yesterday we talked about Pearl Harbor and how crazy it was. The question, if you guys didn't watch my video on Pearl Harbor, I definitely want you to watch that video. I put a lot of effort into it. Plus, it's super interesting. But the Japanese, they felt like they needed to attack us. You know, they were expanding. They knew that they were going to be eventually coming up against the United States, and they just felt like they would rather throw the first punch and have the best chance of winning. And so the question at the end of that video was, do you guys understand why Japan did that, or do you think Japan was evil for doing that? So that's definitely... do you still hear the echo, Spencer? Echo should be off now. Anyway, so that's basically the question I wanted you. So if you haven't watched it, definitely make sure that you watch the video that I posted yesterday. It's important. I'm also going to be posting a reading today on Google Classroom right at the conclusion of this stream. So I would very much like you to read it. It's the 20 most important battles of World War II. Okay, it's this website right here. Let's take a look at it. Oh, there's Mickey Mouse. There we go. All right, the 20 most important battles of World War II. Here, we're going to go through these battles, all right, and today, and I want you to read about them. I'm just going to talk briefly about them. I'm not really going to be reading this, but this is what you're going to go on and you're going to kind of read. All right. All right, so we're going to start with, obviously, Pearl Harbor, right? I'm going to put Pearl Harbor. Let's see where Pearl Harbor is on this list. Let's go down. Battle of the Bulge. Keep going. A lot of the battles in World War II, when you look at websites and readings, aren't necessarily even involve the United States. You know, Russia had such a big part in World War II, especially with the Nazis, that they really are the country that defeated the Nazis. The United States, we did our part, of course, but, you know, for example, when we invaded the beaches of Normandy in 1944, Russia, on the Russian side, I think Germany had something like 44 divisions fighting Russia. And on the French side, Germany had like 7 divisions fighting the United States. So it's 7 of 44. You can kind of realize how much more Russia kind of was involved in fighting the Nazis, you know. All right, so here we go. Pearl Harbor's on the list. I'm going to say one of our first major battles we're going to talk about today is Pearl Harbor. The second battle is also in the Pacific. It's probably the most deadly battle for the United States when it comes to lives lost, and this is Iwo Jima. Now, right away, you have to get out of your head that a battle is like a day or 2 days or 3 days. You know, battles are as long as they are needed to be. So, for example, Iwo Jima is from February to March. So let me get my pencil here. Hold on. Yep. If anyone has any questions at all, just, you know, ask, and every now and then I will take a look at the chat. There we go. The governor said schools are closed until the 15th at least. That is true. Mrs. H has suspended the community project. That is also true. Indefinitely, my understanding is. So, yeah. I like Micronesia, Kyle, so you're incorrect about that. Why is this not on? There we go. All right. There we go. Look at the highlighter. Yay. I don't want the highlighter right now. I want the highlighter. There we go. So from February to March 1945, big battle, all right? Basically, you guys know the famous flag where all the Marines are holding the flag and they're lifting the flag up? That is at Iwo Jima, right? I think something like 7,000 Americans die. It's a very bad battle for the United States. It's part of the island hopping campaign. So after Pearl Harbor, we devised a plan to hop the island. So instead of going right for Japan and attacking Japan, because Japan had controlled all that area, right? We decided that we were just going to go on an island hopping campaign and go from one island to the next, to the next, to the next, retaking the islands that Japan had taken during their imperialism. And so definitely something that we were doing. Iwo Jima happens to be on this. One thing that's interesting is, I got to go higher. Hold on. There we go. One thing that I want to point out about Iwo Jima that's crazy is right here. So many positions could be cleared only by grenades and flamethrowers. All right, so the Japanese dug underground into like bunkers during Iwo Jima, and so the United States Marines literally had to go like from hole to hole, throwing grenades in holes, flamethrowers. You know, remember we talked about the Japanese and the way of the Bushido. They do not give up. Japanese people will fight to the death. It's part of their honor code, and so fighting them in war is just nasty, because even if you're winning, you know you're going to fight to the death. It's pretty bad. So Iwo Jima, yeah, they also have movies, right? The Letters of Iwo Jima, check it out. Definitely some movies are very good. We're going to go up here. We're going to skip this one. We're going to skip this one. The Battle of the Bulge. Here we are. All right. The Battle of Bulge is towards the end of the war. Basically, it's by the Nazis. All right. So following D-Day, we start winning. The Germans start pulling back in Europe, and then we think we're going to win. We're going to go right to Berlin. They start telling everyone that the war is going to be over by Christmas. And then what happens, of course, is Germany counterattacks into the forests of Belgium. And this is called the Battle of the Bulge, okay? And they what happens is, and I need a good graphic. We're going to get out of here. We're going to go into notability. There we go. Get. Here we go. There we go. All right, so what happens is, right, you have Germany. This is going to be a rough-looking map, all right? Right, so you have Germany here, right? You have Belgium, right? And we'll have, like, France over here, okay? Right? There we go. And this is kind of what it looks like. And what happens is the U.S. forces, we can make this blue. Here we go. We're coming in here trying to get to Germany, right? Berlin is all the way over here. And what happens is the Germans push back. We're going to make them pink. The Germans push back, and their line kind of ends up looking like this, right? And this whole area would be considered the Bulge. Get this. There we go. The Bulge, and that's called the Battle of the Bulge, all right? And basically what happens is the 101st Airborne Division, the United States Army, is stuck in a forest, basically surrounded by Germans, because as the Bulge, if you could look, let's go back to my beautiful graphics here, okay? I know, it's awful. We're going to clear some of this out. There we go, right? So basically the 101, right, our soldiers are right here, and Germans have completely taken over, right, the whole area like this. And so they're trapped in this bulge of German offensive, and they are surrounded, right? Because in the middle, which is like right here, right? Like they're stuck in the middle here. And it's known as the Battle of the Bulge, and it's horrible. They're stuck there for the whole winter. They have no food because their lines of equipment is cut off. They run out of ammunition. They start running out of water. They start running out of medical supplies. They start running out of food, and it's pretty crazy. And what ends up happening is the 3rd Infantry Division, which was the infantry division that I was a part of, starts coming up the boot and from Italy, and they have to rush over to Belgium to try to rescue the 101st Airborne. I know Band of Brothers. It's a TV show on HBO. They've showed the Battle of the Bulge. Pretty crazy battle. So are there any questions on the Battle of the Bulge? If you see pictures, by the way, of like really cool things, for example, I will show you. Hold on. There we go. Battle of the Bulge, right? It's all forest combat. It's all winter. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, so look at this. Look at this. American forces held on stubbornly in spite of heavy casualties. More than 19,000 died. What? That's a lot of people, man. Let's see what Iwo Jima. I'm curious what Iwo Jima lost. Iwo Jima right here. 20,000 Japanese defenders were dug in an elaborate system of bunkers, caves. So pretty crazy. It doesn't say how many they lost, but that's all right. All right, we're going to keep going. So we have Battle of Iwo Jima, Battle of the Bulge, the Battle of Britain. All right, so the Battle of Britain basically is an air battle. There's no land. It's only in the air. Basically, England is bombed from July to October. London is just continuously bombed by German aircraft, and it is known as the Battle of Britain. This is before the United States has entered the war, and so Great Britain is on the verge of surrender. Their soldiers they're not doing well against the Nazis. Winston Churchill is begging the United States to join the war, but as we learned yesterday, the American people don't support war, right? We're isolationists until Pearl Harbor happens. But this is 1940, so this is a year before Pearl Harbor. By late 1940, Britain faced the threat of German invasion, but the incursion would succeed only with air superiority. What followed was the first major campaign fought by opposing air forces. For 4 months, the German Luftwaffe carried out attacks on British airfields, radar stations, and aircraft factories. They bombed British cities too. But the Stukas proved more valuable to being intercepted, and the Germans couldn't pass enough planes to defeat the fighter pilots of the Royal Air Force in their Hurricanes and Spitfires. Those are the British planes. Now, what's interesting about this is that this is kind of secret, some U.S. pilots voluntarily went over to England and joined the Royal Air Force to fight against the Germans before the United States was in the war. And you'll see this in the beginning of Pearl Harbor if you watch that movie, and it's a really good movie. Battle of Brody, we're skipping that. This right here is the worst naval battle in world history. We're going to skip that one. Battle of the Atlantic. Okay, so the Battle of the Atlantic is similar to the Battle of Britain. It's only instead of an air battle, this is a sea battle, and it goes on for 3 years. Basically, as the United States is trying to get equipment, supplies, and then later our soldiers across the Atlantic Ocean to help fight in Europe, the Germans are going to be fighting. And of course, the Germans are going to be using their famous submarines. So let's read this. Submarine warfare had an impact in the First World War, but became vastly more significant in the Second World War as the German U-boat packs aimed to blockade Europe. Merchant ships took to sailing in large convoys, protected by screens of destroyers, or corvettes armed with depth charges and sonar. Depth charges are those things that you drop, it's a bomb, you drop into the water, goes to a certain depth beneath the water before it blows up, and it's used to try to blow up submarines. Daring U-boat commanders carried out torpedo attacks within the defensive screen, and when several submarines attacked at once, the defenders had little chance of striking back. In the end, the Battle of the Atlantic was eventually won by technology, radar to detect U-boats from the surface, radio interception, and code breaking all played a part. By the end of the war, more than 3,000 ships have been sunk, and 800 U-boats. That's a lot of boats, like a lot. So, has anyone ever been inside a submarine? Just curious. If you've been inside a submarine, write, I have been inside a submarine in the chat. I want to see. Has anyone visited a submarine? I know you can visit. Oh, Alex, you have? But that's Foster. That's Andrew, right? Yeah, you can visit. They have a submarine base where they build submarines in Connecticut, right across the Orient Ferry. You probably have seen it if you've ever taken the Orient Ferry from Orient Point, but you can visit them and stuff. I know, it's pretty crazy. So I know I had a friend in high school who went to Center Merchants. His name was Sean Wolf. He actually wanted to become a subber, so it was pretty cool. Back then, you could only be a certain height. I was too tall. I think you can be tall now. Allie, you've been inside a submarine? Jesse, let's be serious, please. Unless you do, then I apologize. I've never been to your house, so I doubt you own a submarine, though. All right, we're going to keep going here. The Battle of Berlin. All right, so I'm going to, hold on, look at these. The Battle of Moscow. Oh, D-Day. Let's go to D-Day. All right, this is probably, in my opinion, the second most important battle in American history, right? The first is the Civil War, which is Gettysburg. What's up? Yeah. The second one is Normandy, right? This is D-Day, right? D-Day is, it's a big day, right? It's the day that America decides to invade Europe, mainland of Europe. We went up the Italian boot into Sicily, but the Alps, the mountain range, and here I'm going to go back to doing another one of Mr. Volger's lovely pictures. Let's clear all this. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Hold on. Coming at you with the beautiful. Oh. Looks like I'm off. All right, whatever. We don't need an ugly picture. All right. So anyway, we get stuck by the Alp mountain range in the boot of Italy, and what happens is Nazis in the rest of Europe are controlling all of Europe, and we can bomb them, but we can't get soldiers on the mainland unless we actually have a port to unload soldiers. And so that's what D-Day is all about. So we're going to storm the beaches of France. It's the largest amphibious operation in history, involved more than 5,000 ships landing Allied troops on a heavily defended 50-mile stretch of Normandy coastline, while thousands more took part in an airborne assault. Now, America is not the only country. See, a lot of times we think it's only America, but the truth is England also took part, and so did Canada. They also took part. A major deception operation fooled the Germans into thinking that landings were not large and resistance was light at 4 of the 5 landings. On the 5th, Ohama Beach, U.S. Forces came under heavy fire and 2,000 died as they fought to break out of the beachhead. That's 2,000 soldiers died in like 30 minutes because the battle is short, right? We land on the beachhead, we run up the beach, boom, boom, we're getting shot at, people are panicking. It's only about an hour tops before we take that beachhead. So 2,000 soldiers died in an hour. That's a lot of people, man. Think about that. There's 60 minutes in an hour. That's every minute people are dying. I mean, crazy. The Germans failed to organize rapidly to meet the threat. Within a week, the Allies had landed more than 300,000 troops. Pretty crazy. A lot of movies on this, guys. Band of Brothers is on this. Again, the HBO miniseries. Saving Private Ryan is on this. There's a dozen. If we go to YouTube, and we just type in D-Day, there's so much stuff on D-Day. It's really crazy. I mean, look at this. So there's so much stuff on D-Day that you can find. Definitely check it out. Definitely worth it. All right, let's go back. The Battle of Midway. All right, so the Battle of Midway is a Pacific battle against the Japanese. I'm just going to get into it. Midway was a catastrophic defeat for which the Imperial Japanese Navy never fully recovered. Much of the credit goes to the codebreakers who revealed the Japanese plan to ambush U.S. forces in time for the Allies to plan a counter ambush. The Japanese plan to split American forces also failed. The U.S. then led a major air assault on the Japanese carriers. We used torpedo bombers. 3 of 4 Japanese carriers were destroyed, tilting the course of the war. These carriers, so you're like 3 carriers were destroyed. How did that change the outcome of the war? These are cities on the water. They're aircraft carriers, so they have 300 aircraft per aircraft carrier. They're cities on the water. And today, I think the United States only has like a dozen of these. So back then, the Japanese in the 1940s only had 4 of them. So 3 out of the 4 were destroyed at this one battle. Totally changed the entire outcome of the war. Crazy stuff. The last battle we're going to talk about, Battle of Stalingrad. Now, the United States is not involved in this battle, okay? But this is the most important battle of World War II. It's between the Soviets and the Russians. The Soviets are the Russians. It's between the Soviet Russians and the Germans. And basically, Hitler invades Russia, and Hitler is just kicking their butt. He's going right into Russia, and Hitler is moving towards the city of Stalingrad because he wants the Russian oil fields on the Black Sea. And Stalin realizes that if Hitler gets the oil fields in the Black Sea, that nothing's going to stop his army because it needs oil to survive. And so Stalin, Joseph Stalin, the leader of Soviet Russia, decides to have a stand at Stalingrad, his own city named after himself. And it's a long war, it's a long battle, and what happens, of course, you can see here, it's from August 1942 to February, so it's during the winter as well, because once winter hits, October, November, December, January, February, the Germans just can't deal with the Russian winter. On top of that, the Soviets encourage civilians to start fighting to help, and it's devastating for the Germans. So let's read this, and then I think that will pretty much be it. In contrast to the great sweeping tank battles elsewhere on the Eastern Front, Stalingrad was protracted and bloody urban warfare fought from street to street, house to house, and room to room, as the Red Army resisted German attempts to take the city. Russia's defenses were based on thousands of strong points, each manned by an infantry squad, in apartments, office buildings, and factories, all with strict orders forbidden to retreat. The story is that if you were Russian and you retreated, your own people, Russia, would shoot at you because they did not want the Russians to retreat because they had to win the battle. So they forced the Russians to fight the Germans, and if the Russians retreated, the Russians shot themselves. Super crazy and sad. Eventually, the German force was itself surrounded, and the total number of casualties may have been as many as 2 million, including civilians. I know something like 400,000 Germans either died or were captured at the Battle of Stalingrad, and Germany never recovered after the battle. So literally, if you want one moment in the war that Hitler was winning, and then all of a sudden Hitler starts losing, it's the turning point of that war. It's definitely Stalingrad. That's why it's so important. Stalingrad is, a big deal. America isn't even involved in it, but nevertheless, it's still a huge deal. All right, so are there any questions at all in any of the battles I talked about? So to kind of recap here, I'm going to bring up, let's go here, let's go into my drive. Create a new, we're going to go right into a Google slide. There we go. So the battles that we covered, right? So let's do a little review before I end for today, right? I covered Pearl Harbor. I covered Iwo Jima, right? We talked about the Battle of the Bulge. Right? We talked about Midway, D-Day, the Battle of Britain, the Battle of the Atlantic, and then last but not least, Stalingrad. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to color code them, right? So we have Iwo Jima, Pearl Harbor. We're going to make these guys blue because that's the Pacific Ocean. We also have Midway is also the Pacific Ocean, so we're going to make that blue, right? And then we're going to make this green because this is the United States. Battle of the Bulge is also green because that's the United States. And we're going to make Stalingrad red because that is Russia. So these are the major battles right here, guys. Major battles. There we go. There we go. There, so it looks pretty. There you go. The major battles. All right. That's it right now. So what I'm going to do is on Google Classroom, if we check out our Google Classroom, I got to sign in, hold on, but there we go, sign in, go to Google Classroom. Again, if you have any questions, we're about to end the stream in about 2 minutes, so please ask the questions now. I'm going to be posting a reading on work due. I'm going to make it due tomorrow. So I expect you to read it and answer the questions in Google Classroom. I'm not going to give a lot of work. But I am going to give some stuff. So it's going to be a news ELA. All right. And we're going to sign in. There we go. Let's sign in. Nope, I don't want to sign in like that. That's not true. Stop it. I clicked the wrong. There we go. Sign in with Google. And we're going to use our school account. No, I did not mute Bobby, but that's all right. Is there any homework? Yes, Anthony, there's homework. I'm going to be posting a reading, and it's going to be due tomorrow by the end of the day. No, Delaney, go on my YouTube channel. I actually posted a Pearl Harbor video, so you could totally watch that. And yeah. Why is this not working? Come on. Let's go. Let's try this again. Hold on. Let's go here. I'm going to, one more time. I want to show you the article. News, ELA, there we go. There we go. And we're going to search, right, we're going to do D-Day. There we go. Well, this one's kind of cool, though. I kind of, not gonna lie, I didn't see this one the other day. Look at this. Oh, this, you know what? I kind of like this one. It's just graphic, but no, we're gonna do a reading. But maybe I'll make an assignment on that on Thursday or Friday. That's kind of cool. I'd never seen that, so that was kind of cool. All right, so here it is. All right, there's gonna be a reading all about World War II. D-Day and such. There we go. We want to print. I want the article and the quiz. You're going to have to answer the quiz. We're going to print it to PDF. We're going to save it. Call it D-Day. There we go. Go back to your Google Classroom. We're going to go to classwork, create an assignment. Topic is going to be homework. Due date is going to be tomorrow, Wednesday. There you go, April 1st. We're going to assign it to all classes. So everyone has it. There you go. Right? Reading on World War II. There you go. Read the article and answer the questions. Are there any questions? Can I have my birthday off? No, but happy birthday. When's your birthday, Matt? That's awesome. Happy birthday, man. Yeah, I make the moderators, and they're kids that I trust that are going to be on topic. So if you're not a moderator, don't take it personal. It's just that they're, they're that. If I do find out, Mark, that someone is abusing their trust, they will forever lose it. So there you go. No, I'm not going to stream a game for you. Maybe I will, but not now. I'm not going to stream a game right now. If I can find a good history game, maybe I'll do it and things like that. Yeah, your birthday's Saturday. Well, happy birthday. I'm sorry that you can't have a party, but there you go. The buffs are abusing their power? Is that what you're saying, Angelina? I'll be watching. Okay. All right, so let's add this article. It's a file because I downloaded it as a PDF. We're going to grab it. Here we go. I believe it's in my downloads. No, it's in my documents. No, where is it? Where did I download that thing? Anyone remember? Hold on. Where did I download it? All right, I'm just going to copy the link. Here we go. Copy. Does this have the questions built in? It doesn't. Hold on. Print. Article and quiz. Download. It's under pictures. Got it. All right, so we're going to go back to my classroom. We're going to go to pictures. It says it's here. There it is. Boom. Upload. There it is. All right, so you're going to have to create your own Google Doc to put the questions in, okay? Oh, I could do Uncharted's rated M, though, Anthony. That's the problem with doing Uncharted. If Mr. Bolger was watching the stream chat the full way, a lot of mods wouldn't be here today. All right, Mark, I'm going to go through the history of the stream chat and take a look, all right? I'll do that for you. And so tomorrow it will be different. There we go. We're going to assign that. And that's it for today, guys. So tomorrow we're going to have your student teacher actually is creating some PowerPoints that we're going to go through, and I think that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So now if you go back to your stream, you can see reading on World War II is due tomorrow. So please do that, okay? And that's it. So it is due tomorrow, okay? It's a reading. It should only take you like 10 minutes. Definitely read it. Like I said, I'm not going to give you a lot of work throughout the week, and I'm going to try to make things as fun as possible. Right now, I'm still getting the feel out for this layout. It's not just going to be me reading pictures and stuff. I think I'm going to do videos and fun stuff. So yeah, that's it. Again, I'll see you guys tomorrow. No, we do not have online tests, but I might give you a writing assignment, Nick. So that might help, or Spencer, you can answer that. There's not going to be any write-down tests. I want you guys to focus on math and science. We're just going to kind of go through lessons, say hi to each other, hang out, and kind of go through the topics. Tomorrow we're going to be doing the Holocaust, so pretty powerful stuff tomorrow. So come ready for that. That's it, okay, guys? So I'll see you guys tomorrow, 10 a.m. Be there. See you guys. I have to leave, Anthony. Sorry, bud. Bye. Who's Mono Landvik? Who's Mono Landvik? Who is that? See, when you use a silly name, I don't know who you are, and then I can't help. Bye, Tyler. It's Robert Sims. All right, well, Robert, listen, I'm going to go back through and see why he got banned. But listen, if you're doing stuff inappropriate on the chat, what happens is you get banned. But if you keep doing it or it becomes a thing, I'm going to have to call home and be like, hey, if we're going to have you in this chat where we can communicate to each other, I have to be able to trust that you guys are appropriate. Okay? All right, so tell Alyssa I said hi. Is she watching me, Angelina? Because that's embarrassing if she is. Hold on. I'm now embarrassed. See, it's funny how I get embarrassed with like older kids than I do with younger kids, but that's okay. She is watching. Oh, great. Okay. All right, so I'll see you guys. See ya. Bye. What's so funny? Go to my OBS and let's